Today we're going to take a look at a map that tries to emulate the dark nature of the Half-Life 2 beta. Now this map is a combination of two other maps known as Vertigo, derived from the 2001 Half-Life 2 beta. Common themes of this map are going to be dark and dreary, and definitely nothing like the Half-Life 2 that we know and love. Now this map is pretty much two separate maps stitched together. We have the top part, and we have the lower part. These two together create something known as Vertigo. And pretty much what this is, well, it's a building that has seen better days. But of course, one peek out the window would tell you that there might not be better days. Now the map might be scary, but of course, delving even deeper beneath is going to show you there's even more scary things about this map. Sometimes less is more, and this map certainly does have a lot of that less. As in, there's not really any NPCs or anything around. It's just you exploring an abandoned building that was made as a map from content that was cut from Half-Life 2 back in 2001. One part of the map that really gives me the creeps is this lower portion. It almost feels like we're not even supposed to be down here, but it's still fully explorable. Now the one thing I do like is the lower you go, it almost feels like that storm is getting ever so quieter. Now this is the lowest part of the map, and it's very easy to get lost down here. There's tons of corridors, dark turns, and you never really know what room you're going to end up in next. It also doesn't help that there's multiple floors that you can explore, accessed via the broken elevator shafts. And you'll notice that the higher up you go, the more bright and vibrant it tends to be, but considering how creepy this map is overall, that's not really saying too much. Some of these rooms are so dark you can't even see 10 feet in front of you, and it almost feels like something could pop out at any moment. Now of course it's not all bad. Some of these rooms are actually kinda homey, but I wouldn't get too comfortable considering the fact that this building is completely abandoned. Like this office space, for instance. I don't know what it is, but there's just something so inviting about it, and it's also really cool to imagine these assets were taken from the Half-Life 2 beta, which means that we could have seen something very similar to this if Half-Life 2 didn't change the course of its production. It really does make me sad that we never truly got to see what Half-Life 2 could have been in that more dark, deranged style that it used to have. There's almost something backroomsy about this entire place. Maybe that's just the idea of abandoned, creepy buildings in general, but this one really does fit the bill. Now through all the winding dark hallways and corridors, eventually everything does reconnect back with itself. Of course, this is only the bottom portion of the map. If we were to take a better look at the top portion, we do get a slightly different vibe that kind of tells us these were originally two separate maps. Case in point, here's the bottom portion we've been exploring, but once you go beyond a certain point, it starts to change. Now, we didn't notice it there, but it's a lot more obvious when we're not phasing through the skybox. As you can see, it's all one connected building. But once we do peer a bit closer, we can see that the two maps are definitely segmented, and the top portion is a lot more damaged. Now, some people in the comments did suggest that this part of the map was meant to be, well, crashed into. And judging by what I'm seeing in front of me, I can kind of see what they mean. Here we have some sort of aircraft that has definitely seen better days, and of course we can go into it to explore that. Unfortunately, the only person that could have potentially been our friend is dead. Also in the Half-Life 2 beta, at least some versions of it, the civilians were meant to have these protective suits on, which kind of goes to show you just how grim it was meant to be. Now, although this building is for the most part intact, you want to be very careful where you step, because not every stairway leads to a room. You also might find yourself falling multiple floors because there is even holes that you can certainly fall through, and some of our buddies weren't so lucky. Now, I do have to say that out of these two maps, the top portion is definitely a lot creepier, judging by the fact that a lot of the floors aren't nearly as stable, and some of the things you find may even be quite disturbing, like seeing your dead comrades that never made it. That's right, there's a lot more to this map than meets the eye, and some of the noises you hear might even be quite disturbing. I've heard whatever that sound is, and even guns shooting in the background, letting you know that that war that was only meant to be a few hours might have never ended in this alternate reality of what could have been Half-Life 2. Now, this top portion of the map is not nearly as cohesive as the bottom portion is, and I do wish there was a way to go between the two, but to my knowledge, I don't believe there is. So what do you guys think? Is this the Half-Life 2 that you would have wanted? Or are you glad that we got the story that we got instead? Me personally, I kind of wish we would have gotten this as well, or at least some version of it, included in the base Half-Life 2. But as always, you guys know the drill. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this map, and if you want to see more showcases like this in the future, I'm always so hesitant to do map showcases because I don't know how they're going to do, but it's a very different take on showcasing add-ons in Garry's mod, and I enjoy them. But of course, you guys are the ultimate judge. If you want to leave a like or subscribe, I would greatly appreciate it. Check out NecrosVideos down below for Pokemon TCG Pocket content. And again, I want to thank you all so much for watching this until the end. And until next time, my friends, stay awesome, and farewell.